Hey guys, welcome back to the Obi Thorn Alliance. What are we doing today, Jacob?
We're doing our first impressions of The Shrinking episode 1 and 2.
So stick around if you want to see what we think about The Shrinking. So, The Shrinking, it's on Apple TV Plus. It's starring Jason Segel, Harrison Ford, and Jessica Williams. And it's a show about...
Depression?
Yeah, I guess depression. We've got, it's a comedy, it's dark. In essence, it's what we know so far is we've got Jason Segel, who is a therapist. He's basically been through trauma himself where his wife has died and his daughter kind of not blames him for it, but is upset that he wasn't there for her when the mother died. And he is, basically sitting in therapy, sick of listening to these same people week in, week out, complain about their lives, where he can see how they can fix it, but as a therapist, you're meant to be non-judgmental and help people with the tools to fix themselves. He basically says, screw it, I'm just going to tell you what to do because I know best, and which is kind of a funny concept, and then we get to see what happens. So what are some of the clients he helps, and what are some of the things they do in the first two episodes?
Well, the first client is a female that's an abusive or not so good relationship, and then he tells her to break it off, and then he feels great about himself, and then she does it, and then she moves away, and then the second one, the first impressions weren't so good because he was rude in the meeting, and then the person, because the black African American had fights because he was a soldier, so he had post-traumatic stress disorder, and then Jason Segel's character thought it'd be a great idea to take him to do boxing and start using his that way.
Yeah, it seems a bit basic for me, that, the solution for someone that likes to fight is to take them to fight. Like you think he would have already done that himself. But yeah, they go with that method. Through that, he's having some success, he feels great, and then kind of it stops going so great. It's kind of his patients start conflicting. So the husband of the wife that he recommended to break up shows up to the guy, Jason Segel's daughter's soccer game, bashes him. Then he's also there with his client that has the problem with fighting. He then bashes the husband. So then now he's left with this ethical dilemma where he's gave advice to one client and their husband has now reacted, which has revealed what he's been doing as a therapist. And then the other client he's trying to help has now gotten a punch up defending him. So he's kind of created a negative situation from both therapies, but he still continues to do it. Who else do we see in this show that does well? So we've got Harrison Ford. What's his role in the show?
I guess he's the boss of the therapy place, and we don't know that much about him except for he lives by himself and he loves his sanctuary at his house.
Yeah, he likes to keep his life quite private, which makes a lot of sense for a therapist, but he does love to help and he gets involved. So he's being kind of a therapist on the side for the main character's daughter. He's, been a mentor for Jason Segel's character. He's kind of very, very caring, but tries to have this, harsh, stern persona to him. It's quite a cool role. And then also we've got Jessica Williams, who we'd recognise from the Fantastic Beasts series. And, I think she's a lot of fun in this show. I'm really enjoying her role. She's a very, very honest therapist and she's got pizzazz about her, so it's quite fun. So first impressions, what do you think of it?
Excellent. I would highly recommend it to anyone that wants to watch anything on Apple TV Plus. There's only two negatives I do have about it. The two scenes that we get to see the ex-husband. Look, I know it's a TV show, but in real life, like if someone goes to a soccer match, I'm pretty certain the parents of the children that saw that would want that person to have some consequences. And then the previous scene, the police officers think it's a great idea to release people that were in custody at the same time. They're the only two scenes I have nitpicks with, but besides that, excellent show.
Yeah, that's quite questionable for me, but it adds to the drama of the show and gives it context, so I'm okay with it, but yeah, it seems a bit odd, just a few little tweaks would have made more sense. The fact that he said he never goes to his daughter's soccer game, and the one time he shows up, someone also knows he's going to be there and bashes him, where, You know, if he showed up at his office, I'd probably believe that. That makes a lot more sense. He knows where he works, but instead he comes to the daughter's soccer game. Unless he also had a daughter that played there, which we know for a fact that he mentions that the client he recommended to break up with her husband, they had no kids together. So we already know that that's not the reason why he'd be at the soccer game. So bit iffy, still made it good. You looking forward to the next episode?
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode and seeing how his therapies work.
Yeah, out of all the shows I've seen recently, like new shows, it's probably the one I'm most excited about and to continue with so far. Ignoring The Last of Us, that's obviously an exception, but this is, in terms of a unique new show I didn't know what to expect, I think it's really exciting. I like the therapy concept, I like the comedy, but it's not too much, and I like the character development we're getting. I think each character has a really unique role and personality. Ignoring maybe the daughter, she's a bit annoying. She's hard to like, that seems quite harsh on her father, but I'm thinking we're going to get a bit more into that as we go, and we might start to feel why she is that way.
Yeah, definitely. So, bottom line, it's definitely worth watching if you want to watch a comedy and looking for a different take on therapy sessions.
Yeah, I think it's a unique concept. I don't know how many seasons it has in it, but it just feels like a really high quality. I feel like it's almost like a movie at this point, in terms of its production. I really like the way that they've gone about it, and obviously the star power of those that they've got involved in this show is really, really impressive.
It's almost like Apple TV Plus, prefer quality over quantity like Netflix.
Yeah, for sure. I think Apple TV do a really good job with the things they release. The only exception is they don't like to cancel shows, which can be a good thing, but sometimes some shows need to be cancelled, and they have a lot of really out there wild stuff. But the things that fall into our genres of movies and shows that we like, they've nailed so far. So,
well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you're enjoying the show. As always, you are awesome. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.